Imagine a life where you're owning who you are, unapologetically showing up as yourself because you're proud. Getting people to take you seriously is effortless and simple. Your trust in the universe is so strong that you can finally let go of control. You're no longer fighting with your old self and relapsing into negative cycles, and you're completely okay with being alone. The day has arrived. Today, we are doing a full and complete rebrand and reinvention, and it is going to be implemented right now. Not 1 month from now, not 6 months from now, not a year from now, but right now. You don't need another vision board to reinvent yourself. You don't need to leave the country. You don't need to change your hair color or cut off all your hair to reinvent yourself. You need a guide, a routine with specific habits and execution, so you can remove the patterns creating the same energetic output, shaping the same dynamics over and over and over again. So it's time to actually start living your Pinterest board life instead of just continuously making them. Law 25, recreate yourself. You have the power to control your image and change how you are perceived by consciously shaping your persona and adapting it to suit your goals. You can completely reinvent yourself and take control of the narrative around you at any time. So basically, your dream reality is going to cost you your current self. This is the only blueprint you are going to need to completely reinvent yourself and rebrand yourself so you can sail into 2024 already being the person you want to be and already embodying her energy. This is the breakdown of today's video, and these are the chapter cards. As always, the done for you summarizations and concise notes with action steps for this video and all my previous videos will be linked down below at the pinned comment section and in the description box. I've also made a completely free digital planner for 2024 where you can carve out your weekly goals, your monthly goals, your quarterly goals, and your yearly goals to ensure that 2024 is literally going to be your year by staying organized and on track. You can download that below at the pinned comment section as well and in the description box. Phase number 1, gather, plan, and identify. I'm sure the consensus of our ideal selves, mine, yours, everybody else watching this video, is that we just want to be a hotter, better version of ourselves and live that Pinterest board life. It's actually not that hard. It just takes some simple, focused time on planning and understanding some key things. So you first need the blueprint, the map, the foundation of how we are going to get you to be the person that you want to be and completely reinvent yourself. This blueprint must include who you are now, who you want to be, where you are now, and where you want to be. Then we measure the gap. Understand that who you are drives what you experience. So measuring who you are right now, who you want to be, and how big that gap is comes first. What you experience and achieve after that will just naturally fall into place when you are being the person that you want to be. So identify who you are right now, where you want to be, and how big that gap is by taking inventory of your habits currently, your current routines, your current actions, and your current mindset. So if you mapped out that you currently don't exercise, you feel very sluggish and unmotivated, you eat really unhealthily, but the person you want to be drinks a liter of water a day, works out 5 times a week, cooks really healthy meals at home, and sleeps 8 hours a night, then the gap is quite big. To close the gap, you would need to stop buying junk food. You would need to start learning how to cook healthy meals at home and meal prepping those meals. You would need to build discipline. Those are specific actions that you would need to take in order to close the gap. Measuring the gap and understanding where we are and where we want to be is all great, but we need to then add actions that is going to actually close this gap. I'm going to go into more detail on how you're going to do this in phase 2. For this phase, you need to do just an entire life audit and look at every area of your life and see what is going on, how are we acting, what's kind of going on in our current reality, and is it far from where we want to be. That's the more macro stuff. Now we need to go into the micro analysis. So understanding your day-to-day habits, patterns, and behavior. So you need to really take a microscope and go deeper and kind of weave through your day-to-day actions and analyze what your habits look like every single day when you wake up. What are you doing as soon as you wake up? What are your routines like? Do you have any systems or routines in place to ensure that you're meeting all of your goals? Here, I want you to identify your cue, your response, and your reward for every single action you take on a day-to-day basis. When you wake up, what is the first thing that you do? And what What is the cue that is making you take that action, and what is the reward that is incentivizing you to take that specific action? So an example of this would be hunger. So as you go through your day, you're gonna get hungry. That is your cue. What is your response? You're going to opt for what? Junk food or healthy food? Identify what your response is to the cue. And then your reward would be that you're full. Phase 2, we're gonna dive deeper into how to replace your cue, response, and your rewards. But right now, I just want you to focus on identifying every single cue, response, and reward for all of your habits right now. Next, I want you to create an anti-vision. So the first part of the anti-vision is understanding what you do not want. What you don't want in a relationship, what you don't want in your career, what you don't want in your finances, what you don't want in every single area of your life. Write down what you don't want. The goal here is to use all of this negative energy that is going to bubble up to the surface as you're writing out what you do not want, because maybe what you do not want to experience is what you're currently experiencing. And then use that negative energy as fuel to strive harder for your goals and the life that you do want. The reason this works is because humans are biologically wired to lean into more of the negative. This is a very powerful step, especially if you're like me, where I've always known exactly what I didn't want, which ended up helping me realize what I did want. The second part of the anti-vision is outlining your consequences of your current self and your current actions. Write out where you will be a year from now if you continue to do the same things that you have been doing and that you continue to do right now. And if you were just really unhappy, like in a year from now, if you were really unhappy, what would your life look like? So it's less of focusing on like, I will be really unhappy if something happened to somebody that I love. Focus on statements more like, a year from now, I will still be self-conscious and unhappy in my body because I didn't start working out. Another consequence statement example would be, I will be in the same job that I hate and makes me miserable because I was too scared to pursue my dreams in content creation. So write out your consequence statements. Take every single aspect of your life and write down your consequence statement for what will happen, what will your life look like if you don't do the things that you know you need to do to get to your dream reality. What I'm trying to get you to understand by doing this and going more on the negative spectrum is that problems occur effortlessly, chaos and disorder occur effortlessly without us having to actively go out there and find problems. They just get delivered to our doorstep without any active energy, but solutions require focused, active energy. For example, your room. It doesn't take any active energy or concerted focus or effort to make it messy. It just happens. But cleaning your room takes focused, concerted energy. You have to put in active energy to make it clean again. You have to pick things up, you have to vacuum, you have to put dishes away, you have to wipe off crumbs and wipe off dirt. And this is all based on the concept of entropy, which is that disorder is more probable than order. So the things in your life that you hate right now, your sucky finances, your sucky relationships, your sucky friendships, your sucky mindset, your habits, your routine, all happen very effortlessly. You didn't have to actively try to make these things happen. They just happened. So that's why I'm getting you to write out the negative, because it's way easier. You're going to feel like this is an effortless process to write out exactly what you don't want to experience. The chances are for your life getting better without concerted energy or effort is very, very unlikely. There's almost zero probability that the answers and miraculous change will just appear on your doorstep and completely transform your life. So concerted effort is basically like manifestation, creating a vision, outlining how you're going to bring that vision into fruition, and then taking steps and actions every single day to bring those things into order. Now, this all sounds very overwhelming, and I hear you because I used to get very overwhelmed with this, but for me not to get overwhelmed, I love using an app called Notion, which is an incredible free app, but it kind of has a learning curve. Skillshare is kindly sponsoring this video, and over there is my favorite crash course on learning Notion in the most simple way with basics, more intermediate stuff, and the advanced stuff by Ali Abdal. Staying on top of my professional life and my personal life is so important to me for achieving my goals. Without order or organization, none of this would be in my reality. And Notion is the app where I can keep everything, professional and personal life, all in one spot, and I just love the idea of that. But again, like I said, it was kind of difficult for me to learn. So I highly recommend, if you're trying to get into Notion because everyone's talking about it and you have no idea how, go check out that class because it's chef's kiss. And honestly, just in general, Skillshare has an amazing selection of productivity classes that will just transform your goals, your habits, your routines, and the systems that you need in your life. Learning productivity, I feel, is one of the best things that you can do for yourself, learning the tips, the tricks, and all the hacks, because it will seriously level up your life. And I'm trying to make you have the best 2024 ever. I have a personal link from Skillshare, which will give the first 500 people to click on it a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. So go grab your spot right now. Phase number 2, bridging the gap. Now we are going to take all that information from phase number 1, who you are right now, who you want to be, where you are right now, and where you want to be, your anti-vision, what you don't want your life to look like, and your consequence statements. Now, please don't get overwhelmed if you feel like your gap is super big and super wide. This is where we're going to create some magic, because we're going to come up with your specific blueprint for getting your dream life and completely reinventing yourself. What you need to avoid, what I do not want you doing, because it's not going to help and it's not going to get you where you want to be, is planning out all the new habits, all the new routines, all the new things that you're going to do, doing it for a week, getting burnt out and being like, oh my God, this sucks, I'm over this. And then boom, the 11 months of 2024 are a write-off and it's poof, back to nowhere. So now I want you to take your list from phase number 1, get a fresh sheet of paper. We're gonna make the second list. We're gonna create an active agenda, okay, of how you are going to get from here to here. This is the solution list. So on this list, you might have right now are not making enough money and you just feel very scarce with money. But where you wanna be is financially abundant and just really financially stable and bringing in all that coin. Now we're going to figure out what is the solution. This is basically outlining how this thing is going to happen. So it might be that you're getting this new money and this financial stability from a promotion. Maybe this financial abundance will come from a higher paying job. Maybe you'll quit your job completely, start your own business, start your influencer career. Write down how this money is going to come. This is going to be different for everybody. For you, you need to see how it's going to fit into your life. So maybe you are not the business type because this entrepreneur life is not for everybody. Whatever your vibe is, you need to write down how this money is going to come. I gave you a lot of options. Start brainstorming a little bit on your own and come up with the solution of how you're going to go from financially unstable to financially stable. The solution, the gap bridging, is going to be right here. Another example is maybe you wrote that you want to be in your dream relationship, you want to attract your dream man, and right now you are single, unhappy, attracting dusty, rusty losers. What is the solution right here? How are we going to get from here to here? Will you go on more dates? Will you sign up to more high quality, high level dating apps? Will you be more open-minded? Will you start healing and understanding the patterns that you've created in your dating life and working to rewire those patterns? And now when you're writing all of this stuff out, I need you to be very specific. I don't want you to have your list of where you are right now and where you want to be as I'm going to eat healthy, I'm going to work out, I'm going to save my money. Like, that's all very vague, it's general, and it's going to cause a lot of confusion because it's a very broad topic. You need to niche that down. How are you going to start exercising? What is the exact plan of exercise that you're going to do? Maybe you're going to do bar 3 times a week with a couple days of strength and go for a walk every single morning. Now for the micro analysis. You wrote out in phase 1 your cues, your responses, and your rewards for every single habit that you do, every single thing that you do from a day-to-day basis. You wake up, you're scrolling on your phone for 30 minutes, then you get out of bed. As soon as you get out of bed, you're still scrolling on social media, but you're brushing your teeth. As soon as you brush your teeth, you go down, you eat breakfast, you're scrolling again. Your full day's routine every single day has been listed in phase 1. Now we're gonna go in and write the replacement CRR, the replacement cue, the replacement reward, and the replacement response. That is the solution for getting to where you wanna be and what you are going to experience. So let's take the example I used in phase 1. Your cue is hunger, your response is to eat junk food, and your reward is that you're full. Now a replacement would be your cue is hunger, your response is eating a healthy meal prep because you no longer buy junk food, it's no longer in your house, and you started meal prepping healthy meals every single Sunday. Your reward, you're energized, you're full, and you're satisfied. So the action to make the switch from the unhealthy to the healthy is you are going to stop buying junk food and you're going to meal prep at home. So another example would be your cue right now is boredom. Your reward is doom scrolling on social media and inputting all of this nonsense into your mind because you're mindlessly scrolling. You don't don't have a curated feed that is beneficial or helpful to you, so you're mindlessly consuming random nonsense. And the reward is a little bit of a dopamine hit, you're feeling less bored, and you're feeling just like tied to something. The replacement would be your cue is boredom, the response is scroll on social media, but the reward is you are inputting your mind with beneficial content. So the action that you would take, the solution to make that happen and bridge that gap is you would start unfollowing all the celebrities that you constantly compare yourself to. You would unfollow stupid, mindless meme pages. You would unfollow people that you used to know who you no longer speak to, who are always posting on social media that bother you, but you're following them because you don't want to hurt their feelings. You would completely re-curate your feed for inspiration, motivation, learning things. Follow Andrew Huberman, follow Vikita Trivedi, follow people who you are inspired by and who motivate you, and put out content that is helpful to you, that is rewiring your brain as you consume it. Phase number 3, make it a lifestyle. Romanticize the boring stuff. I understand. We don't always want to do our morning routine. We don't always want to do our skincare and our evening routine. I don't always want to make my bed, and sometimes I don't, and I give myself a free pass. But in order to make it a lifestyle, you have to start romanticizing the boring stuff. You have to romanticize the morning routine, the evening routine, the skincare, the making of the bed. What I do is I put on my soft feminine playlist on Spotify, and I literally pretend like I'm in some movie and I'm being filmed and I'm in my cute PJ set and I'm drinking my matcha or my Earl Grey tea and I'm just vibing. That is how you're going to make your mornings enjoyable and actually want to do your morning routine and stay consistent with it. Go on Pinterest and literally make a board for romanticizing the boring stuff in your life. We need to curate a vibe that's gonna make us like feel really good and put us in the energy and the vibration of we love working out. I love doing my skincare. I love doing my morning routine. We need to be doing a weekly, monthly, and quarterly check-in with ourselves. We can write out all the goals in the world, but if we're not checking in on ourselves and checking in on those goals, we don't know how far we've come. We don't know what we might need to reassess, any course correction that needs to happen. How are we feeling mentally, physically, in our body? I suggest every Sunday checking in with yourself, seeing the goals that you accomplished that previous week. If you accomplished all of them, how did that happen? What was the energy that you were in? What was the mindset that you were in? Did you work out every single day? Did you do your morning routine every single day? Did you do your skincare every single day? Like, what was the vehicle that got you to completing your goals every single day? Like, identify a pattern. And then maybe the next Sunday you would look back at your weekly goals and be like, damn, I didn't really do what I said I was gonna do. Like, I didn't really get this done on Monday. Why didn't that happen? Okay, what did I not do last week that I did the previous week where I accomplished all my goals? Did I not work out as much this week? Did I neglect the skincare and the morning routine or the evening routine? Did I do more social media scrolling? Like, what went on in this week where I didn't really achieve everything I said I was gonna do? Like, I didn't get my to-do list done versus the week where I got everything done and I absolutely crushed it. What was the difference in these weeks? So it's so important that every Sunday you do those check-ins with yourself to see what is changing, how your energy was, how your mindset was, what state were you in, what were you feeling in order to accomplish or not accomplish the things that you set out to. Then we have to also check in monthly. Are we making progress on our monthly goals? Why were they accomplished? Why were they not accomplished? How many good weeks did I have? How many bad weeks did I have? Okay, why did I have more good weeks than bad weeks? What did I do? Why did I have more bad weeks than good weeks? What did I do? We're trying to create and build a pattern around our behavior on a micro lens, on a mid-level lens, and on a macro lens. That way we can course correct in the moment versus waiting until like 4, 5, 6 months down the line and it's like, oh my God, my life sucks still. Like, what the heck happened? And then it's harder to implement changes when you've gotten so far into the year because you feel defeated. You don't feel the same motivation you go into a new year with. So the way that you keep that new year motivation and energy with you throughout the entire year is to do the weekly Sunday check-ins, is to do the monthly check-ins, and to do the quarterly check-ins. So that's every 4 months. What are we setting out for ourselves from month 1 to 4? You're gonna approach the quarterly check-ins the same way that you would approach the monthly and the weekly check-ins, but again, it's just more on a macro scale. What are you doing weekly, monthly, quarterly to make sure you are not getting burnt out and you are staying connected to the things that light you up and fuel you so that you can stay consistent with your goals? We don't want to go gung-ho for 3, 4 months and then feel like garbage, we're burnt out, we've kind of ditched everyone, we're only focused on this thing. Work and our goals is our only personality. personality, which is exactly what happened to me, might I add. But I don't want you to get to that point because it's not good. It's not healthy. So we need to do a battery charge. How are we going to stay connected to ourselves and stay connected to the people that we love and the things that we love to do that make us feel fun and playful and lighthearted? Schedule in one thing a week that is connecting you to yourself. So this might be doing your favorite hobby, which I highly recommend, getting some high value hobbies. I'm gonna do a video on that, so subscribe. That's one thing for yourself, and then one thing for connecting with others. Maybe a time where you're gonna call all your loved ones. Maybe you're distant from them and you can't really see them in person, so you're gonna call them all on this one specific day. Schedule in your recharge time and just the playful, lighthearted, fun connection time with yourself and with the people that you love. Everything I shared in this video is exactly how I went from this to this. This person drank heavily 4 times a week, smoked weed every single day, ate extremely processed, unhealthy junk food in bed all day because I was chronically hungover, felt extremely lethargic to do anything besides school, which I didn't even do well because I was getting 50s and 60s in pretty much all my classes, had no actual life other than drinking, and had friends that were only friends because we shared a mutual love for drinking and partying. This person is the person that I am today, who gets to travel the world, live in a body that is healed and that is at its healthiest, working for myself, doing my dream job, have time to dive into my passions and my hobbies, and I'm surrounded by supporting, loving people. Make sure you download your free digital planner to put everything I said in this video into practice so that you can also have the exact same transformation I just shared. If you want to make the external glow up match the internal one, go watch this video right here.